Hello, Alex here visiting Jack Busse at Indoor Outdoor Company located in the UK. What I'm about to show you will knock you off your feet. These guys rock and roll and mean business. And their graphics are fantastic. Actually, Jack has shared with us all these graphics that we use as well. And they started right on time, right at the second. Incredible. They go through the kitchen duties, who it is for that day. And every single day, Jack will do a video that honors all of the improvements, and they all build a culture looking and participating, making that video through their daily before and after. Immediately after, they have the learning of the day where they watch a 1, 2, 3 minute video. Then they discuss it really quickly between each other. What could they take out of that? How can they land what they have learned into the shop floor? They share a fun fact for the day. It's a team, they all do some stretching. Right after, I was invited to a weekly meeting of production to review those projects that need some help and are probably blocked, and they're there to support the team. And then Jack put a team of sweepers to do 3S'ing, and we participated. It was a great fun and great team building. Quite impressive. Everybody was engaged and participating in the 3S and improvement time. There was 2 things that impact me in this place is that everywhere you would go, there was a good organization of tools and workstations. And the second thing is that they create so many products to solve their needs that they become their products to sell later on to the market, but they have fun and they're creative and they're resourceful. Everything you see here, they build the building, they build all the furniture, they build the kitchen, they build even those signs, they build everything, and that's how they come up with new products every time, fixing what bugs them. Jack understands the importance of offering and dignifying a lunchroom and restroom that is up to excellence level. And here Alex was explaining us their Kanban system.
Our code on here, we'll put it back to there, so then we know that once it gets low, it will scan the code again, that'll go straight through to the office, and then we'll reorder and we'll move it across so we visually can see what's been ordered, what we're low of. Cool. And we put it back every single time, saves us running out of any stock.
They prefer not moving those Kanban cards, but just scanning and sending a signal. They built their own table, and like this dispenser they did as well for the paper, which turned out to be one of their best sellers. And Jack took this from Seating Matters, labeling a code in each of the visual management so they can reprint it if they need to. And here he was showing us a cell to assemble this product that it is to store tools, and it was so cool. Everything on wheels, visual management, colors, you couldn't go wrong. And they really improved the way to pack and deliver. They have more than 700 orders per day. Everywhere you would go, you would have the sense that it's ordered and there was flow in the company. This is the center of operation of the company where all the orders would come in, and then they distribute them and they print at the same time the label for shipping, and it is all focused on this nice board they created themselves. Everything is visual management here, and Jack was explaining the inventory system. When it gets to a certain level, it triggers a Kanban, which is automatically printed out and sent and actually printed at the location where it needs to be produced. So there is constant flow in the shop. His layout was clean, nice hallways. I could identify all of the different laser cutters and labeled each one of them. I knew what was going on. And here there's a little card they made. They fabricated a special cards so they would be able to do these U-shaped cells and be able to have everything handy. But just look at everything that this one station had. All his tools. He had this flipping card to be able to have raw material and then the bent material in the same cart, all of his different wastes so he can think about them. This is a roller they created just because they had the need, and it's one of their master products. Even things to put their pens on. I mean, these guys develop anything they need and then it becomes a product. They had just put these racks for inventory of raw materials so there would be flow next to the laser cutters. And they had robot cells producing around 2,000 parts per day. I mean, it was incredible. In this packaging area, we were looking at it and we went out for a Fix What Bugs You Gamble Walk, and we were just having fun together with Jack. And so we noticed one of his members was having really an ergonomical problem there, putting these boxes down, hurting his back. And so we said, how can we fix it? And they came up with the idea, just put some pallets, and now it was nice and smooth. Look at that right there. Oh, just at the level that you need. And then we start to look at how we can even improve it. And we saw that he was struggling taking out these labels. And so we said, what if we put them all in one area instead of walking a little further? And then the next improvement was, what if we put the roll of stickers of these labels to the other side? And so we said, well, let's try that. And then we kept on going, and we're just having really great time trying to improve it. But we noticed that when he bended the box, it was not centered. So now he came up with a little jig in order to be able to know at what height he needs to put that label. And then we said, well, and how do we do so you don't have to hold it every time? And we were always just asking questions. We never really said how to fix it. And that's what I love walking with Jack into his shop. It's not just a tourism. It was go and fix something every day. And then he continued to improve his jig by marking the location where he needed to put the label. Then we went to the welding area and it was fantastic. I saw detail. For example, this little circle, they laser mark it, very gentle, just so they mark and know where they need to weld it. And that's the tolerance. And that way they don't have to be measuring every time. It was pretty cool. And so we threw out the question, so what bugs you? Of course, there was something that it was not being done correctly, was that he had to weld his jig every time when he sets up and then grind it off. So that was a lot of waste. So we said, well, what can you do? And here is what they came up with.
So this is the improvement I made to the jig. Rather than welding these tabs to the bench, I've made these feet, these bolts on, which slide into the keyholes in the bench. And then it's steady. No need to weld it.
Then the way they set up the laser cutting department, look at all the tools, everything is clean, the Kanban system. You even can see they even thought about, for example, here they're looking at their layout. See how they have their screen, that it's vertical in the same direction that he would look through this window to see how it's cutting, so it makes sense for the operator. One operator looking at 5 machines, the way they are marking their indicators to make sure they're doing their TPM. Look at how the visual management of the finished cuts, how they use really good visuals. Take a look at this Pocayoke in the bending department. So he has the number here, the number of the tool, and you cannot miss because it will not fit in any other slots. Isn't that cool? And here we were looking that in the morning we saw this Kanban. We were discussing it and it was midday and it was done. And look at how beautiful they coat. They powder coat different colors. And here they're optimizing the ovens. It was phenomenal. The place was clean and all the bench was well thought out. I mean, it wasn't a mess. And they are painting different colors in one batch, and they found a way to do that without any cross-contamination. They're just really clean and know what they're doing. Many stations have their 8 waste up there so they can review them and see them and learn them. Look at how clean their spraying booth is. And this was a nice setup from a benchmark in Seating Matters. And you can see the 2-bin system with the nice labels, visual management, the photograph, the code, the scanning. And they put these bins at one side when they're empty so they know which ones they need replacement. More Kanban systems to scan. I mean, look at the shipping and receiving was fantastic as well. They had a machine to cut the cardboard and do the boxes. So they were explaining how they had a lot of boxes from years ago and they don't use. So now they're only cutting what they're going to use, and they're being more efficient, and there's a lot more flow and less inventory. You can see the details. Even the paperweights were made out of scrap material, but it looks so nice, and they recycle every possible material they had. And then this printer was sensitive to the cold weather, and when they benchmarked this to another company, they had the whole building heated up just because of this printer, and they said, well, that's waste. So she was still improving that box, and she had so many ideas to improve it, but they came up with a clever solution to just heat what was necessary, nothing more, nothing less. And then I was curious about this little tools with different colors, and it was actually something that Jack made it to be able to take the burden out of her, because what happened is she needed to cut all these PVC pipe for some dispensers, and now she can easily cut them and put these in stock. But then you had to put these little rubber caps, so he made another machine to take that burden out. So this is what she had to say. Your work life.
I think Jack's very creative, and he always says to her she can do anything, and I feel like what Jack puts into his employees he kind of gets back, because I feel like I take good pride in my area, and I find making improvements fun and interesting, so yeah.
He makes a big difference that, doesn't he? All right. Everything was well organized, and take a look. All the products coming out of the power code, right behind, they put it into these racks. So they flow and they slide to the other end where it's accessible to the people that are going to be packaging. So it goes from here to here, it slides down, and the guy that's gonna pack it in this box, and he also makes the boxes and is sliding them to the other side. So it is a very well thought out system for 2 people to pack and have flow. It puts them in the pallet and it's ready to go. And I was talking to Chris that has developed this robot cell that does all the bending and marking and pre-positioning. It was just fantastic. I couldn't believe they did this all by themselves.
What makes you happy?
Coming here. I'm just, in my life, I'm a simple guy. I just want to come and enjoy my day every day. I don't want to be coming to work and feeling stressful or I don't love it, I don't like it. I had many jobs. I think I had 20, 30 jobs in my life, and I've been going from one to another. This is literally it. You do what you want to do, isn't it? And
you have fun.
Every day.
Thanks for making this great video, Alex, and also coming to see us. And really, you're one of the reasons why we was able to make this lean transformation. So I was struggling with lean for quite a couple of years, and then over the last year, we've been making videos every single day of everyone's small daily improvements, no no matter how big or how small, and it's really transformed our lean journey, and it's enabled us to be eliminating the waste every day and making our place premium. And during your tour, interviewing my guys makes me very proud of them. They've done such an amazing job, and yeah, I'd like to say thank you to all of those and everyone in the lean community that's helped us too. So thank you very much.